The Jurassic World Evolution 2 community is claiming that Update 6 is the best we've ever gotten, and honestly, I can't disagree. Hello and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, where today I'll be giving a comprehensive and in-depth review on the Feathered Species DLC and Update 6. Now, I've only ever done a review like this once for the Dominion Biosyn expansion, and I've never had the intention of doing it for a dinosaur pack, but I feel as though this update was so amazing that it deserved its own video. However, in its greatness, it is not without some flaws. So, to give you a bit of a layout for this video, I'll start with the DLC and then I'll move on to the free update before giving my final thoughts. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the species in the DLC, I'll first talk about my favourite species, followed by the species that exceeded my expectations, then the species that lived up to my expectations, and finally the species that fell short. So out of the 4 very exciting animals that were added to the pack, which one is my favourite? That title falls to the Dinosaur, which was the animal that I was most excited about, so maybe there is a bit of bias mixed in with this opinion, but I don't care because god damn, if this ain't beautiful, then I don't know what is. This animal has it all. It has a good model, good skins, good patterns, good feather texturing, it's omnivorous, it's got an adorable social animation, and a pretty damn cool kill animation that makes the Dinosaur a #1 draft pick for any NFL team looking for the greatest defensive lineman to ever walk the earth. I think you get the gist of why I like this animal so much, but not only is it my favourite animal in the pack, but it's also very quickly becoming one of my favourite species in the game. Next is the animal that took my expectations and absolutely blew them out of the park, and that was Sinosauropteryx. This little red Pandasaurus is so freaking adorable that I'm lost for words. I kid you not, trying to write ways to describe this little bugger has taken away so much of my time. Sinosauropteryx has quickly become a contender for the most adorable species, not just because of how it looks, but all of its animations absolutely melt my heart. When I saw its release animation for the first time, I had the biggest, goofiest grin. The biggest drawback for this species is that the skin patterns are pretty boring, which is pretty disappointing because the feathered species tend to have pretty awesome patterning. But this is likely due to the tail stripes being the big eye-catching feature, which is there regardless of patterning due to its paleontological significance. But nonetheless, this is an amazing addition to the game. With 2 animals left to go, we move on to the animal that met my expectations, and that is J-Holopterus. Being a flying reptile, it doesn't have a lot of animations like the other animals in this pack. However, it's an insectivore. When catching bugs, it has several different animations that will play, likely due to the lack of social animations, and these are all very well done. Its model is also very cute, with it having some of the best skin and pattern combinations in the game. Usually when creating a list of skins for my top 5 skin shorts, I'll have around 5 or 6 that I'll choose from. With J-Holopterus I had 10. So what this creature lacks in animations, its unique diet and beautiful skin really bring this creature up. Finally, we have Yutyrannus that unfortunately didn't quite live up to my expectations, but I do want to say that I still really like this creature, it's just I was hoping for a little bit more. The area where Yutyrannus falls short is in its animations. They don't feel particularly unique and none of them really stand out to me, but that's just my opinion. However, these guys are really well detailed and the skin patterns look absolutely gorgeous. I want to reiterate that this still is an incredible dinosaur, it's just not as great as the other 3 we've received in this pack. Now we move on to the free update where I'll be mainly talking about the most exciting additions we've gotten. First up is something that the community has been asking for since the first game, and that is the log viewing gallery we see in Jurassic World, as well as the viewing dome. Both are well modelled and are intuitively designed with the tunnel system connecting the attraction to the rest of the park. I do wish that the hitboxes were a little more forgiving and that the tunnels could be connected to the Hyperloop, but I can't complain too much. Next is the new square and expanded maps. The square map size will allow us to build the parks of our dreams without worrying about space. However, PC limitations are going to be put to the test. A major drawback for the square maps is that the area around the map border is very out of place with it being completely empty. I know that this has really dulled everyone's excitement, but I think it could be fixed in the future. On the other hand, the expanded maps for both Southwest USA and San Marie Bay look like they are huge improvements to those original maps and gets me excited to build on them. We also now have access to the slow motion camera and the new cinematic camera mode, which I was very excited about, as well as unlimited feeders. Hallelujah! Thank God. We finally have them. Something in the first game that should have been in Jurassic World Evolution 2 from the start, but it wasn't, for whatever reason, and over a year later, we finally have it. Not only this, but all decorative foliage is also now available on all biomes, which, don't get me wrong, it's great. But I would have liked it if we had the foliage brushes as well as the terrain paints, so we have full creative freedom when it comes to our enclosures and parks. This feature is only available on next-gen consoles and PC anyway, so surely they could make all foliage brushes available. Frontier has also added the ability to place multiple buildings at once without having to return to the menu, which is going to save so much time. The new random rock tool is also a very nice addition that makes rock placement seem a lot less deliberate. This update also provided a number of bug fixes, with the one that stood out to me the most being the one that fixed dinosaur animations. Everyone say goodbye to the jittery dinosaurs because they are no more. But in true Jurassic World Evolution 2 fashion, we still have many annoying bugs. For example, my game has decided to lag all of a sudden. The transport helicopters have forgotten how to move forward. My Sierradactylus has given up and is starving itself. The cinematic camera is shit. My dinosaurs are all still walking through fences. You've gotta love this game. So to wrap it all up and give my final thoughts, I will say Update 6 is definitely one of the best updates we've gotten, and honestly the Feathered Species Pack is probably the best dinosaur DLC we have gotten, so if you're unsure of what dinosaur pack you want to get this one. If you enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you left a like, because these long form videos typically don't tend to do well, but I do put a lot of effort into them. And if you did enjoy, you could also subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!